What's up, my little TisaTells? How y'all doing today? Well, if you are TJ Holmes and Amy Robach, you should be so worried. Guess what? Good Morning American execs have announced TJ's replacement. And baby, TJ's a goner because that man's black and look like TJ. Y'all, what am I talking about? There is a new layer to what is going on between TJ Holmes, Amy Robach, and the network. As we know, they engaged in an illicit affair. We'll laugh about that later, right? They got busted. They thought they were too big to fail. ABC launched an internal investigation because Robin Roberts was furious. But it looks like Robin's getting the last laugh because sources are now saying that the reason why TJ and Amy were put on indefinite suspension is not because they're investigating. It's because they're trying to find their replacement and make sure the ratings are good, because apparently they have been unhappy with the ratings that Amy and TJ were bringing in for a while. Y'all, this is diabolical. That's the thing. Before Amy and TJ, but you know what? How would Amy and TJ know this? Because I feel like they're both sitting there dancing off beat, doing like whatever. They just look like they got long limbs and they're just dancing off beat. And they was just like, they can't fire us. We're too big. Shimmy, Cocoa Puff, right? And TJ was like, I know. But the thing that neither of them bothered to actually check was, wait a second, are they happy with your performance in the beginning? Because you know how it is at work, right? When you're up and stuck, you can pretty much do anything you want. But when your manager has a problem with you, or when things are going wrong, yeah, you might want to hold off on that victory party. Y'all, let's get into this. But before we do, let me just say, because what? First of all, let's talk turkey. The way Amy and TJ did this was just messy, right? It was completely messy. They could have waited until they had at least filed for divorce to announce their relationship. The people that are the biggest losers out of this, and I don't mean to call them losers, are the children. Amy and TJ's selfishness humiliated the children, embarrassed the children, not just in the public, but in home. What do you say to your children where the girl that used to babysit for you is now your stepsister? What do you say to your children, right? When your daughter, that the people you used to babysit are now your stepbrothers and sisters. What do you say to your children when you are plastered all over a mockery, all because you couldn't stop from your canoodling in public? Again, if that's their people, the truth will tell. By people, I mean like their soulmate. The truth will become apparent. But I do think that it's sad. But let's get into what they did to themselves, because baby, apparently network executives weren't happy with them to begin with, because ratings weren't where they were supposed to be. And if Amy and TJ had gotten out of their own little bubble, they would have realized now's not the time to be making any waves, because Robin, ABC is her show, her legacy, Robin Roberts wanted them gone for making a fool of her when she confronted them in 2017 for the affair, making a fool of her, going up to network execs and being like, how dare Robin accuse? We're just friends. We would never. Robin's pissed off that they made her look stupid. And two, she thinks that they've been holding the show down. So this is the perfect time to get two birds with one stone. But let's get into TJ's replacement. And baby, he looks just like TJ on paper. Now, they don't bear resemblance, but think about it. Both the same complexion. They both have nice smiles, and they both are mainstream attractive, like a Good Morning America. Again, they have faith in them, and you know how it is. Whenever when you work in any industry that focuses on your looks as part of your job responsibilities, that focuses on your looks, whenever they get a replacement that looks like you on paper, that maybe if they describe them, they'd be like, wait, are you talking about TJ? Or are you talking about DeMarco, right? It's not a good sign, and you need to start literally double checking. Anyway, get this. Someone new has stepped in for TJ as his role on Good Morning America remains in question. And let's just say that some fans of the ABC program are not in love with the notion that they won't be seeing TJ's face on their TV screens anytime soon. Who is TJ's replacement? Well, he's DeMarco Morgan. As of December 9th, DeMarco Morgan had stepped in to replace TJ on the third hour of Good Morning America. DeMarco has been in the business for 2 decades. He served as anchor for CBS Los Angeles, and he said bye to that role in 2022. Now, as a new Good Morning America star generously shared on his last broadcast, he felt grateful for his behind-the-scenes team for moving on and moving up, saying thank you to so many people who wake up in the middle of the night just to make sure I look good. He said, this has been a wonderful journey. I was telling someone last night. Now listen, DeMarco Hells from the Sooner State, he is 44 years old. He is single, so we don't got to worry about any of these extramarital affairs. He is single, right? On top of that, his Instagram chronicles his clear devotion to exercise, enjoying the outdoors, and get this, he's really, really cute. On top of that, TJ, you a goner. You're a goner, TJ. Now listen, he's a Dodgers fan. He went to Jackson State University. Now listen, DeMarco is sitting in for TJ, and Rhiannon Ali now sits in for Amy. Woo! Now listen, you guys. Now let's get into why this is real news. Now I know everybody's saying, but what are you talking about? Good Morning America's hit ratings surged by 11%. Let me explain why network executives has been rumored are so upset. It surged by 11%, okay? But the network executives don't care about cheap rating spikes. That's nice when there's no drama, but right now they need continuity. It surged 11%, but a lot of their viewers who are very Bible Belt, very like mini-man majority, very conservative in their views, and they're also married and they don't like the idea of championing somebody that was cheating on their spouse, right? Even though they had that spike of 11%, a lot of people were rushing, including me. I don't even watch Good Morning America to see what was going on. Now, that spike, they're saying when you actually look into the metrics, showed that some of their key audience didn't watch because they were disgusted with it. So you might have a spike of 300, but 100 loyal viewers didn't see it. So it nets 200. That 200 in the long run is not worth that 100 loyal viewers. All right, so we're on board with that. But get this. Out of all the Good Morning Americas, the ratings for Good Morning America 3 were the lowest ratings in all the franchise. So network execs were already side-eyeing Good Morning America 3 because they were like, wait a second, you guys should be doing a lot better in your ratings. And for a while, they were looking at Amy and TJ about like what's going on. And they were even considering maybe replacing them, but they were slow walking it. It seems like this suspension gives them the perfect opportunity, to not fire them, to keep them in limbo, but to keep trying out different anchors to see if they can get at least the same ratings over a few weeks or even a bigger bonanza of ratings. They've already found someone and announced them as TJ's replacement. Amy has been scrambling. I think she saw the writing on the wall. Amy's people look like they've been scrambling and they're just like, oh, no. Amy's gained too much. Because as you know, Amy's co-host on, Good Morning America, David Murr, said they can't stand Amy. So where does this leave us, right? TJ is a goner. They might keep Amy. But I will say this once and for all. If TJ leaves, Amy should leave. They did it together. They both had affairs. Amy was friends with TJ's wife. She knew what was going on, right? If TJ had to leave because of that affair, Amy should have to leave. Likewise, if Amy has to leave because of that affair, TJ should have to leave too. They are bound together. What's fair is fair. One person shouldn't be treated worse than the other because, as they said, this was a consensual affair and it takes two to tangle. Now, this is the last little piece about why I think TJ is a goner, but why Amy should also be very, very worried, because I think they do look at them as two peas in a pod. If Amy, right? How do I say? Okay, I'll just come out and say it, right? Because this is actually really important. Even though there was that spike of 11% in viewers, Good Morning America is thinking in the long term. They're thinking of what happens. You have two people that show that they'll sleep with anything that moves. At least that's what network effects are treating them as. TJ been slinging that thing all over the office, and I'm pretty sure if they investigate, Amy might have been riding all the rides and sliding all the slides too. However, they're thinking about this. What happens if TJ decides to stay with his wife? What happens if Amy decides to stay with her husband? What happens if TJ starts cheating on Amy? What happens if Amy starts cheating on TJ? What happens if they break up? See, here's the thing. I know a lot of people compare this to Morning Joe. Morning Joe is a show built around Joe Scarborough, right? Joe Scarborough has a loyal fan base. The show was built around him. There is no Morning Joe without Joe. Mika is his co-host that turned into his lover. And now, did they get married? And now, I think, wife. You could not fire Morning Joe and still have it. So the fact that Mika literally was sleeping with her boss, and the boss was not only the creator of the show, but he was the star, and the show was his namesake, there was no way they could have fired. And Joe said, you're not firing Mika. Mika's going nowhere. There is no way in heck, right, that they could have had the show without them. However, Good Morning America 3, TJ don't run stuff over there. Neither does Amy. Good Morning America is a institution. They have rotating guests. They have rotating anchors and guest anchors. So they can get rid of both of y'all and the show will still go on because people watch the show because it's part of their routine. Now, they're looking in the long run. What happens if one of them break up? And there's awkwardness. They don't want to be around each other. They're angry. One of them quit. Do you see how now this kingdom that Amy and TJ thought they had built is built on sand, and it did not escape the network's attention? Yeah, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Y'all listen. DeMarco was here. They have TJ's Replacement. I've seen him on CBS Los Angeles. He's pretty good at what he does. Super handsome, has the same type of appeal that TJ does. The only thing is he's single and there's no scandal. Y'all, again, expect to see, if DeMarco doesn't work out, rotating guests on Good Morning America 3, but please accept the fact that this internal review, and I think this is what Amy and TJ haven't figured out, which is why they're pulling on. This internal review is not about firing them. This internal review is about finding replacements, and then they get fired. Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think in the comments, and I will talk to you later. Bye.